it's okay. It's okay. And if you don't find someone who can support you in that, I just encourage a journal and therapy. Talking to a therapist is good. Find a really good therapist.
What's up, fertility fam? Let's get these babies, ladies.
What's up, fertility fam? How are you? Merry Christmas Eve. I was actually not planning on doing this video tonight, but I've watched a couple of other videos and I was like, they touch my heart. I need to sit down and have a conversation with you guys. So specifically, I watched Mama Butterfly's video, and then I watched Mac Dingle's video about dealing with, you know, emotions around the holidays and struggling with infertility and all of those things. And I just remember last year I did a video. I was drinking my rosé and I was in my feelings, and it is obviously I'm not drinking this year because I am pregnant, but I'm not out of the woods, you know what I mean? Like, it's still scary. 4 years ago I was also pregnant going into Christmas in 2018 with Applejack. So I don't take anything for granted. I'm glad to be pregnant with my rainbow baby, but I know nothing is promised until I get the baby earthside. I also know what it is like to be in the wait, and so I just wanted to address that for all of my TTC sisters who are still in the wait. I'm thinking about you. Whatever you're feeling is valid. If you need to protect your heart, that's okay. You know, if that means not going to your family's house or staying away from the relatives that are going to ask the inappropriate questions and you're not quite ready to share where you are in your journey, it's okay to not go. Save your heart, protect your heart, give yourself grace. Also teach people how to support you. You know, the people who really love you will listen. And if you just need to pull them aside and tell them it's a sensitive topic without going into great detail about where you are in your journey, I encourage you to do that. I think the people who really love you will understand. And if they don't really love you, do you need to keep them in your life? You know what I mean? Or obviously our relatives are always in our lives, but maybe you keep them at arm's length. It's a difficult time, especially when you've put a lot of effort into it. Like for me last year, having gone through the 4 transfers, having gone through, oh my God, so many biopsies, so many tests. I don't know if you remember, I had to have like 4 biopsies or 3 in 2021, and then I had 1 early this year when I can't even remember. I had to take the antibiotics, the Cipro. It was just horrible. And it was like, ugh. Sorry, I got an eyelash in my eye. I'm getting ready to film another video for you guys, a bump date, and I was just like watching these other videos and I was just like, oh, I need to talk to the fam. I don't want to sit and complain about what I went through last year because I know there are some people in the wait. I just want to say you're not alone. I see you. Last year I was in your shoes. Hopefully next year you'll be in my shoes. You know, just stay the course. The holidays can be hard for a number of reasons. They're always hard for me. One of my younger brothers was murdered 2 days after Christmas, and so that's hard. I believe my mom's mom also died 2 days after Christmas, which is crazy that she lost her son and her mom on that same day, so that makes it hard. Yeah, and this year there's a storm. I'm probably gonna be home alone on Christmas. Like, I don't even know if it's safe for Cheyenne to come down from the Bronx. But honestly, I'm okay with being alone. Well, shh, don't tell the puppies I said alone. Or not puppies, they're 2 now. I'll be here with the girls, so that'll be good. I'm at a place in my life I'm just introspective, I guess is the word I would use. I'm very introspective right now and just, yeah, assessing everything. I will say we should probably do vision boards again this year. We'll do it over on the other channel. I've been thinking about it for like the last 2 weeks and like, should I or shouldn't I? I think yes, I need a vision board. I need to stay focused and grounded and keep my anxiety at bay. It's been a lot. And it's definitely been a year of growth and opening up my throat chakra. I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm getting better about saying what I need and, you know, some people want to label that, oh, you're playing victim or you're doing whatever. I don't think of it that way. Of me telling you what I need, if that is a victim, what does a non-victim look like? Because I feel like I don't want to be a doormat, or I don't want to be a people pleaser anymore, where I just let people say anything irrespective of how it makes me feel. Whatever it is that you've been working on this year, I hope that you've seen improvement and that you'll continue to strive for more improvement in 2023. But you know, next year, it's a whole new year. Some of us are carrying our hopes and dreams over from one year to the next. Some of us have done it for many years. And sometimes I understand it can feel like there's no end in sight. And I have to be honest, like last year this time, I wasn't even sure if I was going to go forward with my fertility journey. Like if I was going to pursue it, I just had to have like a real heart to heart with myself and say, you know, basically, can I mentally handle more failures? Because that is a hard part. And so I think it's okay to walk away. And I think, you know, when you if you decide that you need to walk away, you need to find people that support you. Because when I was having that conversation, nobody was really listening. Like everyone was trying to talk me out of it, which is hard because then it's like you don't have your feelings acknowledged. Even if you get to the place like I did of I'm not going to stop, what I was feeling in that moment is valid. So I just think it's important that people listen to us. Hi, Justice. Did you need something? That you surround yourself with people who listen is what I'm trying to say, like who really respect what it is that you're saying and what you're going through. And it brings me to mind, I know, you know, rest in peace, Twitch boss he unalived himself. And you know, I saw a lot of things on Instagram where people are like, check in with people and love people, and it minimizes like mental health. And we all have like mental health to deal with. I see statistics where it's like 1 in 5. No, every human being on the planet has mental health. Sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes it just is what it is. But we all have it. And I think it just diminishes when you're like, oh, just check in with people. Because sometimes people are checking in and just like, hey, how are you doing? But there's like not a real connection or not real listening. Like if you ask me how I'm doing and I tell you that I'm struggling with something and I don't want to do it, the immediate answer shouldn't be, oh, you should go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? So when you check in with people, or when people check in with you, make sure it's like a real check-in, a real conversation where there is talking and there is listening. So communication has happened and not just rebuff. I don't know if that's where everything you say, the person is telling you shouldn't feel that way. Like that is not productive, in the same way that telling someone to calm down doesn't necessarily get them to calm down. You know what I mean? And if you don't have someone in your life that can listen to you and you give them that information about how they can support you is by listening, right? They don't always have to fix it. They don't always have to have an answer. Sometimes you just need to be heard. At least I know I do. Write a journal. Write it down, get the thoughts out of your head, do a video recording just so the words are coming out of your mouth. Like sometimes it just helps to get it out of the head and into the air, and then you can replay it or reread it later and it gives you perspective. But it doesn't always get easier. It doesn't always, that's the thing. Like I remember when my brother was murdered and people would be like, oh, it'll get easier, or time heals all wounds. And that's not quite true. What becomes easier is your ability to manage your emotions around it. It doesn't hurt any less, do you know? So I don't want to say like writing in the journal is gonna make it less painful, but it will help you get perspective. It will help you manage your emotions a little better, and manage them not in the way like calm down, right? Manage them in the way that they don't seem overwhelming, because you're entitled to feel what you feel. We all are. Sometimes it helps to get perspective. And I struggled with that in the beginning of the year. You know, it took a long time for me to get to cycle 5, right? I had the 4 last year, and then we didn't do another one until September because I had all these tests to go through. Then I had to get my finances together, which by together I had to decide that I was gonna demolish my credit, max out all my cards, and not pay some bills. Here I am. So what I can get my credit back. I wasn't sure I was gonna get another chance to make a baby, or that I was gonna have the wherewithal to go through it, because there is that part of, if you're going into a cycle, and I know, like, this is the thing where I'm saying, like, don't rebuff people when they're telling you about their concerns. I would tell people I'm worried that if it fails, I won't be able to mentally handle it, and people would poo-poo me and be like, oh, don't think negative. Think it's gonna work. Well, of course I think it's gonna work, otherwise I wouldn't be investing my time and money. But the reality is nothing is guaranteed, especially in IVF. There's not 100% chance ever in IVF. So there is that reality, right? And I manage projects. I have to think about risk. This is a possibility. I can't live in Never Never Land. And I really wish that I had one person who would have listened to me when I said, you know, I have to be prepared for whatever the outcome is. I have to be mentally prepared. There were times where I wasn't, and so I waited. So even if you're sure you want to have a baby, you may not be sure you want to go through with the process. And whatever that looks like for you, it's okay. It's okay. And if you don't find someone who can support you in that, I just encourage a journal and therapy. Talking to a therapist is good. Find a really good therapist, because I've gone through a lot of fertility therapists. Some are more interested in the process or just sort of diminishing. They don't understand, especially like a male therapist is not going to understand like what it is to go in every month and have all of these transvaginal probes and, you know, taking the test and having the 2-week wait and hoping and praying, should I test, should I not test? Y'all know I'm a POAS addict, so I always had to like balance that of when do I start, because once I break the seal, all bets are off. So yeah, I'm rambling. I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you and you're not alone. However you decide to move forward, I support you. I do believe your baby is waiting. Even if you decide not to go after it, it's okay. Do you know? It's okay. I don't think enough people talk about that, so it gets hard to decipher. It is okay to walk away. It is something you have to decide. It's a very personal decision, and as long as you decide it and say, I'm okay to walk away and I'm not going to look back, I'm not going to regret this, I gave it my all and I could not continue to go down that path, that's okay too. That's okay too. I'm not encouraging anyone who is on the path to get off the path, but if that's where your head is, I just want you to feel supported and know that that is okay. And I say that when a lot of people were talking me out of it or telling me that I was thinking the wrong way. It doesn't help. It just really made me feel isolated and alone. And so I don't want you to feel alone. Do what you need to do to protect your heart. If you've got that one uncle who's gonna be like,
so when are you guys having kids?
Stay away from that uncle. Do you know? Find a support. There's resolve.org. They have support groups that you can go and talk to other women who are going through it, and they do have a therapist there that moderates the group so it doesn't get out of hand. They have, you know, rules, so it's a little more civil than some of the Facebook groups. I'm just gonna say it that way, because I've seen some catty Facebook groups. I mean, if you're in one and you love it, no disrespect. Just for me, I need rules. I need structure. Definitely, you know, find real-time support, whatever that looks like for you. Don't feel alone, because you're not alone. There are a lot of women who are going through this. And even though I sit here, you know, I will be in my 5th month tomorrow by the time you guys see this, because I'm going to post this on, yeah, I'll be 17 weeks by the time you see it, so in my 5th month. I still am part of the infertility community, you know, like miscarriage is still very real for me after having had 3 miscarriages, and so it's not like I feel like I'm out of the woods, right? So wherever you are on the journey, just know that you're not alone. You're loved. Your feelings are valid. Remember to give yourself grace, and I will try to remember to give myself grace too. All right. Happy holidays, whatever that looks like for you. I love you. I'm thinking of you, and I'll talk to you later. Baby does to us all.